Welcome to the syndicate, where real estate wholesaling is what the business is. Ain't gotta talk about it when you out here living it. So if you out here getting it, then welcome to the syndicate. Welcome to the syndicate. Welcome to the syndicate.
Hey, what's up, guys? Before we start this one, just want to let you know, less than 30 days out from our biggest, best event yet, Wholesaling Syndicate Live 2024. It's going down September 14th, San Antonio, Texas. Make sure you grab your tickets. Just go to Free Wholesaling Live. We'll see you there. Awesome. All right, guys, you're listening to another episode of the Wholesaling Syndicate Podcast. Very excited to have another San Antonio wholesaler with us today. We have Myles Dukes. Myles, thank you so much for joining us today, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited.
Yeah, same here, man. Yeah, so for people who might not know who you are, you want to give us a quick intro on who Myles is?
Yeah. So I'm Myles Dukes, 26, based out of San Antonio. I work with Justice Cash Buyers. I'm basically the acquisitions manager. I dabble in dispo, handle all our JV deals and situations, and I do a lot of coaching for the community, superhuman community as well. So, yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about your community. And, I know people in there love it. I went to the Carlos Reyes event. I remember how long ago that was now, but a little while back, like 6 months back.
All in?
Yeah.
In Dallas? Yeah. I was out there too. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We had Joey Bibbo coming down for the event, and he loves it. And I met a bunch of your people at the. I think I had lunch with them. And, but it's super cool to be able to meet your community.
Yeah, man. I love the community. Very, very family based, family oriented. I just love interacting with everybody, meeting everybody, helping everybody on deals, different coaching stuff. So, it's been a blessing to be a part of the community for sure, man. I love it.
That's great, man. So how did you first get into real estate?
So for me, I would say probably my wife. My wife has been in real estate for around 6 years now. Her and her family own a company. Shout out Melanie and Jeremy. They own a company called Texas Law Cash Home Buyers, and she's been involved with them since she was about 18. So she started doing property management, and then really just after that kind of just took off. She got a realtor license, and then she started going to different networking events and going to meet different people. And I was like the tag-along husband, just going for moral support and just being there and shaking hands, meeting people, didn't know who I was talking to. And then really I started taking an interest into it. I've always been a numbers guy, so I was just trying to think of what I could do in this space. I don't really want to do showings. I don't really want to do all that stuff, but, I'm good with numbers, good with math, did the back end stuff. So I decided to go the mortgage route. And I was in the process of getting my mortgage officer license and working full time. And after that, I met Aaron. I had went to his event here in San Antonio a couple of years back, the one him and Q hosted. And after that, I just started following him and really paying attention to the wholesaling space. So everybody like JR, you, Mike, and really just learning, soaking up as much information as possible. But yeah, and that was really how I kind of took interest into it. And that's what really I guess springboarded me into it. So
yeah, that's awesome, man. I love that.
Yeah.
I think it's a great way, just going. I think it's great tip, a good gold nugget for people to take away is just if you want to get into it, get around people that are doing it, go to those events, go shake hands. And it's just that more real, when you're meeting people doing it and you already have those connections, it makes it that much easier when you have a question to ask.
Yeah, 100%. And I would say too, most people think oh man, I'm scared to go and talk to these people. But I would say it's a very, very welcoming community. Everybody is very interested in helping you and teaching you and showing you how they do it. So it's almost if you get into it, it's really hard for you to fail because you have all these people, all the top dogs who are willing to take some time out with you and talk to you and help you with stuff. So
yeah, 100%. No, that's one of the things I love about, especially the community we have here in San Antonio.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's definitely not like that on all events. I went to a RIA yesterday. And
wow,
it was a whole different vibe. I'm wow, I'm real grateful for the kind of community we have. It's wild. But yeah, once you find those right communities and right groups, it's so important to just go there and just hey, shake hands, say who you are, and it's like I said, when you find the right people, of course, they definitely do want to help, and the influence there. And it's just you got to be an action taker.
Yeah, 100% agree.
So what was your journey like getting your first deal?
Oh man. So, I mean, I feel like my first deal was probably my most intricate and difficult. It was mainly just working with a company. I came onto the team, and man, like just soaking up all the information. I'd already had knowledge, of course, at first, but then like adapting to training, taking away my strategies, and then learning new strategies. But I will say, like, I'm super duper grateful. Like Aaron really that's why I feel like I have so much success now, because like it was me and him like one-on-one, like weeks on weeks, and just training and going over different strategies, different ways to deliver certain types of information and stuff like that. But yeah, I say all that to say, my first deal was difficult, man. You make your calls, you go through your day to day, and then you get those guys that are just like, man, I don't want to do business with you. I don't want to talk to you at all. And then you get the people that really want to do business with you, but the numbers just might not be right. Mm-hmm. And then you run into a situation where everything is perfect, but there could be a lien on the property. There could be something totally outrageous that the seller just had no idea about. And so that was one of these situations where it was like, the numbers made sense. The seller had I guess you could call them a family member. It was like the son's girlfriend living in the property, and it was a family thing. So they got behind on paying the mortgage, and she was getting letters from the bank like, hey, we're gonna foreclose, and it just became a situation where it was like, I want to get them out, but at the same time, it's like my kid and like his girlfriend's family and their mom and all that stuff. So it was just a really touchy situation. So it became almost too difficult to deal with. The other side of the family didn't want to leave. They made it incredibly difficult. We did everything we could. I mean, we offered cash for keys, just different strategies. We'll help you move. Maybe we can find somewhere for you to go. Maybe, give some type of, I think like housing assistance because of the situation that they were in. And it was just like impossible. They made it impossible. They were just like, no, this is not going to work. If it is going to work, I want like $100,000. And then, that's a deal breaker at that point. Yeah. So it was crazy. So it got so bad to where our seller was getting like messages and threats from people on Facebook because the tenants are family members. So like they're telling their family, their friends, and it was in a small town in North Carolina. So everybody was really close and tight knit. So she was just like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with it anymore. I like you guys. I want to sell it to you guys, but I just can't. Like now it's affecting like my home life and my personal life. And, people at my job are hearing about it, and I just feel like a terrible person, and I just can't do it. So, at that point we were just like, okay, well, we can't force you to sell it to us, but, we will put a memo on the property. So we did. And I told her the whole process about like how that works and everything like that. And she was okay with it. She was like, it's not like I want to sell to someone else. I just can't right now because of the situation. Right. So we left it at that. Couple months later, she calls me back and she's like, hey, they're gone. And in the meantime, I'm still hitting my follow-ups. I'm doing my dials and just trying to put in the time. And, I contracted a couple of deals. Some deals fell through. But then when she came back, I was like, oh man, like this is amazing. Like, cause in this case, like we had a buyer lined up, we were all ready to go. And he was like super interested until the deal. I guess deals were hard to come by in that area. And he was like, yes, like I want this. So when she came back and she was like, hey, they're gone. I don't know the condition of it. I don't know how they left it, but I do know that they're out the house. Is there any way we can still make this work? And I'm like, yes, of course. Yeah. Of course. So we immediately get her under contract again, get the buyer back on the phone, man. Buyer goes out, he walks it. He's like, it's a little bit in worse condition than it was before, but I'll still take it, but significantly less. So at this point, it was like a proof of concept thing for me. Like I don't care how much, like I just want to get this thing done because like this is the one. So it happened. We got it closed. I want to say it was like a $18,000 assignment. Originally, we was looking at like 30, 35, but I was just excited to finally close something, and then that just like skyrocketed me. I think after that, I got a sub 2. We closed on a sub 2, and then deals just started coming left and right after that. And then I really just feel like that's the biggest hurdle. Like that first one, it might not be the easiest. I know it's the most like difficult in terms of like dealing with it because you're learning all this new stuff as you go. Like it's your first deal, certain things come up. But like after you get over that hurdle, you learn so much in the process where it's like you come across an easy deal, a sub 2, a regular like fix and flip deal where you can just get it off easy, and then like you're a pro, like you're learning as you go, and then I just feel like that's the best way.
100%. Yeah, my first deal I made like $1,200 or something.
Yeah,
$1,100. It was like I was supposed to make more, and then there was there was back taxes or something he wasn't aware of.
Oh man,
I'm like, I thought it was so hard. Looking back, it was pretty easy. But yeah, like I ended up splitting like out of my assignment fee, and the buyer came, and paid a little bit more, and like we got done. But yeah, just like you said, getting that first one done.
Yeah.
Oh man, so it's like I think it's just a mental thing. Like it's possible. Like you've seen it from A to Z. You got paid, and like, oh wow, it's a real. It becomes real. Yeah. And then like right after that, we made like $60K off the next one.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Like oh fuck, I didn't quit.
Yeah.
And get frustrated because I didn't make a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
There's definitely a time like when I first got that first one, because it wasn't very long after, but I'm like for a bit, I'm like wow, that was so much work went into this, and like I just pounded my face in the pavement, and like I only made $1,000. Like fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely just keep going, and just get that first one. 'Cause once you get that first one, it's like
exactly,
much easier.
Exactly. And then I just feel like too, like with all the things that could come up in a deal, like I mean, you never know. Like even when you're talking to the seller and you got them on the phone and they're agreeing with everything you're saying, you could get word back from title, and then it's just like, hey, they have liens, they owe back taxes, this person owes child support. Like a lot of things can go into the deal that can, make it or break it depending on how you approach it. I mean, some people might just be like, oh, well, I don't want to deal with liens. I don't want to do the extra work to get the liens off. So, I mean, it's definitely takes that mental fortitude to be like, no, I'm going to see this through. I'm going to do everything I need to do to, get this thing to close and ultimately like fulfill your obligation to the seller, because I feel like that's the main thing. Like we provide a service, so we want to help people. Obviously making money is great, but like, I feel like when I get someone on the phone or when my team does and they come to me and they're just like, man, I don't know how we're going to do this. No, like talk to your seller, let them know that we're going to take care of it, give them that peace of mind, and then we just get to work. Right. So yeah,
I think that's one of the biggest values that wholesalers bring. A lot of people like outside the industry or even in like agents or other people that just don't really understand. They're just like, oh, I don't like what you guys are doing. You're just like, taking advantage or whatever. Like, no, we're solving problems. Yeah. And that's all business is solving problems. Mm-hmm. And there can be a lot of problems sometimes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But for sure, man. So what's so you got that one, and right after that, you said the dam kind of broke. What strategy has been working best for you, like now, like this year, like as far as like getting deals, getting in front of people? Yeah,
I would say for me, our biggest thing has been like dispositions and putting deals in front of people. So what we were doing was really just expanding to different markets. We went across different states. We were taking feedback from community members and people that we knew that were saying like, hey, I was doing really good in Kentucky. I'm doing really good in, Florida. So we went out to these markets. And deals come. Like we were making deals, getting progress, getting things under contract. But you just learn so much about these different areas when you're doing business in them from what you think. Because everybody would think, oh, Florida's a hot market. Like it's Florida, of course. But, Miami and like Punta Gorda are two totally different things, man. And so like, when we're trying to, do dispositions on the back end, we're just running into all these issues because we're running our formulas the same way and trying to get feel for the neighborhood and feedback from people who already, do operations here. But it's different. So what's worked for us is kind of just staying in our lane where you have the most knowledge, I feel like. Where you've done the most business, where I know anywhere on the map in San Antonio, I can tell you exactly how that property is based on where it's located, or just how that side of town is, and what I know I should probably get this property for versus what the numbers say. Yeah. So just kind of like knowing what you know and then sticking to what you know. Obviously, expanding is great. Going nationwide is great if you can. But I would really, really recommend like you be as knowledgeable as possible and ask questions. Get with somebody who lives there, has done business there. maybe call up a local realtor so they can give you the lay of the land, offer some value in return, so that you can understand fully, just that area, because it's so different, and everywhere is different. I mean, some places it's block to block. One house is worth something else. On the next block, it's not. So you really just got to understand these areas and really just do your research.
100%. Yeah, I know that was one of we were talking the other night about it, but we went wide too. We were in a bunch of different markets, and looking back, we wasted so much time on certain deals that it was so hard to find a buyer.
Yeah,
it was just the market wasn't there, and then we just did one in San Antonio. We just closed. I got where we officially closed, and the wire was sent out today. But it was so fucking easy. I'm like, literally that. Someone brought me the deal. I JV'd on it. So they brought me the deal. They need help finding a buyer. I found the buyer. It was someone in the syndicate community. I was like, hey, I know you're looking for a deal. You want this one? Like, boom. And it was that day. It was super fucking easy. I'm like, wow, this is nice doing deals in San Antonio. Nice doing deals when you have buyers. And I'm like, it was so much easier than having to go into a new market and then trying to figure everything out. And
100%. I feel like some people try to overcomplicate it too. Like they do a whole lot of business in one area, and then man, I want to do deals over here. This person's doing deals over there. Maybe I should go over there. And I mean, man, if it's working for you, just stay where you are, because it's a whole different animal.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think definitely that's a thing a lot of people struggle with. I think not even just in real estate, just entrepreneurship, just shiny object syndrome, and something works well, and then I want to do this, I want to do that, and I got a guy I've worked with for a while, and I was one of the first members of my community that I've coached, and he crushed it right away. He followed the blueprint. He did what he was supposed to do, and they made $90K, him and his son, in 90 days.
Wow.
And they were, they just came in right. They just followed the plan. Then right after that, it's like, oh, I want to try everything now.
Yeah.
I saw this ad. You heard about this. You heard about that. And I'm just like, bro, just stop.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what you know that works, man. Just keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, if it's working, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, yeah, I definitely agree. Shiny object syndrome is real, 100%.
No, I speak from experience. I mean, it's easy. We all struggle with it. Grass always looks greener, right? But I think that's huge. So, going back on that subject with different markets and stuff, is there a certain criteria you look for that instantly no, I don't want to waste time on it, market size or how?
I won't say market size, but what I try to do is look at, is there action? Our homes being built, our homes selling, just the neighborhood in general. What we try to do is reach out to realtors in the area, say hey, we're looking at doing some business here. What can you tell me about the area? In exchange, you could be our realtor for whenever we run into innovation in this area or something like that. So we try to always offer value, of course. But yeah, just there's nothing better. You're not going to find out the best information online versus talking to the people that do business there, live there. So yeah, we just try to talk to realtors and just get their feel for the area. And a lot of times you'd be surprised. They'll tell you hey, stay away from this zip code. Over here is really bad. Over here is really nice, but it is expensive. Over here is more of the middle class area. Over here is the lower class area. So really just trying to learn the neighborhood, learn the different sides of town, what works well here. And then also just asking about because, realtors work with buyers too. Just asking, hey, so what are buyers looking for in this area? Because that's another thing that we've kind of also ran into when we were also going out to different markets and stuff was we're locking up, fix and flip deals and getting them super discounted. And then the market is for buy and holds, and buyers don't want to flip a property. They want to buy it, rehab it a little bit, put some tenants in there. Right. So that was another thing we had to learn too. I think it was really prominent in Cleveland. So we were locking up all these land deals and fix and flip deals, and we're thinking we're killing it because contracts are just coming and coming. And then we go to sell these things, and they're like, "Oh, well, nobody builds on that side of town, so that land is useless."
Yeah.
And then nobody wants to do a fix and flip. These Cleveland is all buy and hold, so it's man, now we got to go back and get reductions or cancel contracts. And so had we done our due diligence a little bit better, we could have known on the buyer side, this is what the product needs to be. So I would say, yeah, definitely reaching out to realtors, not only about the neighborhoods, but getting some buyer feedback too, and just letting them know, hey, this is what, we're buying. This is what I like to buy. This is where I like to be at. And these are the type of projects I like to take on.
For sure. Nah, it's huge. And then you find a good realtor and that knows the market and active and doing deals. Like they're gonna want to work with you because you want to do deals together. And like even if you're just starting, you don't know a lot. Just be transparent. Like, hey, I'm just starting. I don't know a lot. I definitely don't know a lot about this market, but I'm hungry. I'm willing to put in the work. Can you point me in the right direction? I'd love to do deals together.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. A realtor is never going to turn down a good deal. So I mean, even if it's just you kind of getting out of your comfort zone and reaching out to people, do it because it pays off and it makes it so much easier for you rather than trying to lone gun it and do it all by yourself, because you can easily still make money and learn in the process from someone who knows the area, knows what they're doing a little bit better than you do. And then you can also just, pick up their tips and tricks as well. So maybe next time somebody will be coming to you for a deal. So
yeah, 100%. So what do you, with the community, I know you guys can see a lot of different people that come in from different experience levels. As far as like new people, most of our audience is like newer people or people just starting, maybe got the first couple of deals. What are some of the biggest mistakes you guys see with like new people just getting into it?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Great question. I would say the main thing is just the mentality. People come in and they think, oh man, I'm just going to get rich and it's all going to happen overnight. And, one deal is going to, I'm going to make more than I ever made in my life. And, it's going to be my year's salary off of one deal. And I mean, yes, that can happen. It happens all the time. But there's a lot of the other side of the coin that you don't see, which is the, putting in the hours, dialing, doing the work, being resilient. You're going to get cussed out. You're going to be told to fuck off. I mean, it's going to happen. And if you're not mentally prepared for that, I mean, there might be a day where you just can't get anybody to stay on the phone with you longer than 3 minutes. And, it might be days of that. So I would say just coming in with the right mentality, knowing like, hey, I might need to, put my head down and just get to work for a little bit, but it's going to pay off if I stick with it and I don't give up on it. And then another thing too, I would say is being afraid to collaborate and, or being too selfish and not wanting to collaborate. Right. Because if you're coming into a community, I mean, that's your biggest asset is the people around you, especially, the communities like yours, like the San Antonio community as a whole, the wholesaling community, and any other community that you get involved with. Those are your biggest assets. I mean, you have people who are more experienced, people on the same level as you that you can, look to for motivation and to, like work together with that can, pick you up on those days where, it's not gonna always go on your way. But yeah, use your community, use the people around you, use the people that are doing it. And don't be afraid to ask them, but also make sure you have that right mentality that, you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have bad days, probably more bad days than good days at first. But as long as, you stick with it, you stick to the plan, you don't try and do too much and you just get your head down and do the work, then, I mean, it's coming.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think just no matter what level you're at, if you're still doing sales, you're still doing acquisitions, you're going to have more bad days. Mm-hmm. It's like if there were all good days, we'd all be, billionaires. Like it,
yeah.
90% of the people aren't going to want to fucking talk to you.
Yeah.
They're just, or they're going to want an unrealistic price.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, there's going to be a reason it doesn't make sense. Or,
yeah.
Yeah. I don't think if you're making calls, there's not a day goes by that you don't get somebody.
100%.
But nah, it's huge. So are you guys, where are you guys getting most of your leads from now? Or like between you guys personally and like your community, do you guys have like any lead sources that are working well? Are you guys doing cold calling, VAs?
Yeah. So we have Standard SVAs, the company that Aaron owns. So for our company, that's where we get most of our leads from. And then we also try to push that to the community as well. So super cool. I mean, we've customized our markets with them a whole bunch of different times, changed marketing strategies, gone back to old marketing strategies. But like I said before, like sticking to what we know. So that's basically how we'll get our lead source. Obviously, we have the community too. So they bring JVs from all over the country. They want to do deals with us. So I also handle the JVs department. So I'm pretty much the point of contact for everything within our company. So, yeah, man, that's pretty much how it goes for us.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it's honestly, we've been transitioning back to doing more VAs too. We're doing more PPL stuff, and some of the nationwide stuff, and then like it was good, and then like it was been inconsistent. But honestly, the VA ones, like if they get the lead and the lead's just as motivated, like it doesn't really matter where they come from as long as that person's motivated and the timing's right.
Yeah.
It's like we did the numbers, and it's like so much more. It's so much cheaper or less expensive, like having the VAs generate the appointments.
Yeah.
It is like a lot of the PPL or PPC stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it all works for sure, but I think it's
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we even took a look at like AI for a little bit, and there's the stigma with VAs, like nobody wants to talk to somebody with an accent, but also nobody wants to talk to a computer either. Like it's the same thing. So I feel like VAs have a little bit more luck because I mean it is a person, and versus like AI. I mean, AI is great. I know some people have a lot of success with it, but I know for me personally, if I call and it's a bot, like I'm hanging up.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the calls that are there yet. I mean, it's getting scary close in some of this stuff.
Yeah.
But, 'cause, like I'm big into it. We have our company Investor Plug where we build like AI bots and we build custom CRMs for people. But yeah, it's like the calls are good because I nerd out on all the AI stuff.
Yeah.
And, like I watch it all. It's getting scary. Like the stuff we have access to, I haven't seen it there yet. But it's the texting does really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as like, so we do like anything we do, any automations or text or the VAs, it's all to get them on an appointment with like an actual like salesperson that can sell and close.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's getting scary and scary because like it's just the beginning. I feel like
Yeah.
with AI, and I feel like a couple years from now it's gonna
Yeah. Like the really good ones, bro. Like you can hardly even tell. But I've heard some of like the worst ones where it's kind of a little bit choppy, and then it's like like. I don't know. That would kind of annoy me, but I have heard some ones where you can hardly tell it's a AI. Like it sounds like a person. The tone, they make jokes. Like I'm like, man, like
that's wild. I feel like Drake killed it with the Tupac and Snoop. I'm like, it sounds just like them.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, it's definitely a crazy time. So, do you have any other tips for someone that's just starting? As far as like, I think community is great. I think having that resilience. I think, like you said, it does all start with mindset. I think that's the biggest thing. But any other tips that you'd have for someone that's listening to this and wants to get into wholesaling but doesn't know where to start?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, like you said, like community is great. Mindset is another big one. I would say too. I mean, people also kind of have the thing where, if I'm gonna get into wholesaling, I need to know a whole bunch. You really don't. Obviously, start by asking questions, but there's a lot of free content on like YouTube and stuff like this, and like Instagram. Like you use Instagram for a lot of things. Use it to learn something. Follow these people that you might not be in the same city as or have as much access to, and just scroll through their stuff, learn their stuff. A lot of these guys, like I said, they're so wanting to give back. And they put a lot of that stuff on the internet. Like I watch Jerry Norton's YouTube stuff all the time. Tony Mott's, like different people's, Novation King, your stuff, like all types of different stuff. And it is very helpful. And it sometimes when you think you're doing it the best way that you can, you hear something and you're like, man, I don't know how I didn't think of that. And it really is just by you listening to different people and getting their perspective on things. And a lot of people think like, I need to pay a whole bunch of money. Like, no, like a lot of you guys, like y'all put stuff out there for people, and it's there. And if people just looked for it, like you could probably learn everything you need to know about wholesaling just by going on YouTube, doing your research, learning different strategies, learning how to do innovation, a sub 2, buy and hold offers, different stuff like that. You'll learn how to pull lists. You'll learn how to get data. Like it's all out there.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not this super expensive thing that you got to spend all this money on a course to learn. Like you could, if you really wanted to, you could find out the information and make yourself successful.
100%. I mean, the event we're doing next month, literally 30 days from today, it'll be closer to that when you guys hear this. But, it's I mean, we're giving you everything A to Z.
Yeah.
People flying in. We have some of the best people in town, and then we have some people all over the country flying in. And literally going to be scripts, contracts. I haven't announced it yet, but we're doing a big boiler room.
Oh, wow.
Like Wholesaling Live did with like having people make calls.
Oh, yeah, man. That's going to be dope.
And we have people donating leads, like with the sponsors and stuff. So they're going to have leads. They're going to have scripts, contracts, literally everything they need. They just got to show up and do the work.
Oh, man. That's going to be awesome. So do your research now. Go to the event. Get your first deal. And there you go. That'll jumpstart you from there.
100%. But man, no, this was great, man. I'm looking forward to having you speak at the event. And, definitely looking forward to doing more stuff together. What's the best way for people to connect with you on social or just in general? Yeah,
for sure, man. So on Facebook, it's just my name, Myles Dukes. On Instagram, my name is daysbefore_Dukes10. Those are pretty much my main sources of communication for people. So if you ever want to get a hold of me, ask me questions and stuff like that, need help with something, I'm always open and honest and willing to help you out. So whatever y'all need, man.
I love it. Any final thoughts?
No, man. I'm excited for the event. I hope you guys come. I can't wait to see everybody there. Kai, thanks for doing this with me, man. Like I'm super appreciative, man. So thank you for sharing this with me. This was awesome.
Of course, man. Thank you for coming on. And yeah, definitely grab your tickets now. It's free.
Yeah, 100%. We'll see y'all there.
All right.